love to do in like lucid dreams and stuff is I like to try to convince the characters in my dream. Like I felt like everyone in my dream was like someone else dreaming for some reason.
Yeah.
That was like my perception at the time. So I was like, hey, you're dreaming, like, wake up or something like that. And
Yeah.
like I remember the person in my dream like turns to me and is like, hey, shut up, man. Like keep doing what you're doing. like they go with the flow. Like I feel like dream characters are so weird. They like try to keep you, not lucid. They try to like put you back. It's weird. Oh, my card just filled up. Hold on. I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that.
I have actually. So I've done the exact same thing where, and it wasn't intentionally me trying to convince other people that they were dreaming. It was like right when I became lucid, I looked around and everybody around me. I say to all of them, I said, "This is a dream. Did you know this is a dream?" And they're all like, "Yeah, whatever." And they just kind of ignore me and they just keep on going along like they've got a predefined script to follow and they don't want anything to do with what I'm saying. I can't convince any of them.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, really interesting.
It is. It's really cool.
One thing I've never come across, and I'd like to someday. I hear other people who talk about it, is I've never come across any real people in a projection, like anybody I know in real life, I guess I should say.
Ooh.
It's like people that I feel like I should know or that I think I've met, but I can't remember where I've met them from, or just people that are. I met one guy who claimed he was deceased, but I didn't gather any details about him to ever do any sort of verification. But I've never met anybody from waking life, and I've heard other people talk about when they meet people in waking or from the real world that they're almost like sleepwalkers and they don't respond, and it's almost like they're in a if they're asleep, it's like they're not conscious enough to respond, and so you can easily tell who's a real person and who's a somebody on the astral planes kind of person or something. But I've never experienced that.
And first of all, it kind of triggered a memory of mine. Like how I said there were people like walking around. There was someone sitting on that desk right there. I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah.
they're sitting at it and like sobbing, and I could tell that he had probably just recently passed or something like that.
Yeah.
So that totally freaked me out, and that's what like just totally sent me back, because I wasn't like about to be like, hey man, like, because that's something I've always wanted to do, is like help people that like don't know.
Oh yeah. Have you read any? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all you.
I was just going to ask if you read anything by Bob Monroe or Robert Monroe. He talks a lot about soul retrieval and helping the deceased.
I really want to read Journey Out of Body. That sounds like a really good book.
Yeah, all three of them are great. They're really good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, after reading that, I had the same thought. I'd love to do that, but I've only ever met one person who claimed they were dead, and I tried to help him, and I'm pretty sure I didn't help him at all.
Yeah. Because like you're not like trained. You don't know how to like deal with someone that's already dead. Like
yeah.
That's not something one talks about. It's crazy.
Yeah, and even Bob Monroe in his books, when he's trying to help people, a lot of times he loses them, and so he's like, "Here, I'm gonna take you somewhere else, or take you to your wife or your spouse or whatever," and so he'll hang onto their hand and he'll start flying off towards wherever he's taking them, and then he looks back and the person's gone, and he lost them somewhere, and so yeah. I'm not even sure he had it down 100% on what to do or how to do it, but I'd love to do more of it.
Yeah, definitely. Cause like, man, it's like something that is just like like if people are astral projecting, not obviously astral projecting, but like existing on the astral planes, like not intentionally, like letting them know that they're in a different realm of reality would just be such a weird phenomenon to experience.
Right.
Like, sounds super weird.
So what's your opinion on the whole thing about is it real? Is it just in your head, or have you not made up your mind about all of that yet?
I think like I don't know if you've ever done this, but like meetups in the astral realms, like it can't just be like a projection, like a dream or something. It's got to be like us projecting our minds into a different realm. Like it's got to be that, because like I don't know, like people have met up in the astral planes, and you can't I just don't see how that could possibly not be anything less than that. Especially if you were seeing dead people,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, Tom Campbell talks about shared experiences. Had some shared experiences with his son, and he had one with another guy at the Monroe Institute. And looking at that kind of stuff, I have to say, yeah, I want to think that I would love to think that it's real, but I'm one of those people that just wants to experience it for myself.
Yeah.
And part of that is because of my religious background, because I felt like when I suddenly decided that my religion that I was a member of for so many years was completely fabricated and just all make believe, I felt
Mhm.
like I had been lied to for decades, and it made me
Definitely.
so it makes me very slow to just take somebody else's word for it and just to believe things on circumstantial evidence or anecdotal evidence or things like that. And I just want to experience everything for myself. So at this point, I've decided that I don't believe anything one way or another until I find some evidence on my own.
Yeah.
But like I
Yeah, that's
said, part of
kind of
that is
how
I'm just very skeptical.
Mhm. I think that's definitely probably the best way to be.